Hi Taurus, and welcome to your April 2022 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky coming on to talk to you about your awesome month ahead. I'm feeling really wonderful and relieved when I'm working with your energy, Taurus. It is going to be getting, I think, a lot better this month. You are coming close to having your solar return. We will be entering Taurus season at the end of April. And I'm so excited about that. We're going to get a lot of stuff revealed to us, okay? When we have the sun and the North Node coming together in Taurus as well as Uranus, it's going to be an awesome May, okay? May especially is going to give us a huge jolt of reality, truth, and progress, I think. So let's talk about April. Let's talk about getting there. We're in your collective 12th house here, starting in April, so we're not quite there yet, but we are getting close. Intuitive messages for you. As usual, I will do those. I will do a week to week, and then I will do an extended reading for you all on Patreon, which will be linked below and in the top right-hand corner for you to go and see if you would like more info. So, intuitive messages for Taurus. This is kind of an open door for you here. You can really correct your budget. You can really correct your mistakes of the past during this time. You can polish. It's a very polishing time, and the entire year for you, I think, is to some degree polishing in nature. That would be the best way to utilize it, I would say. A lot of Taurus people might be, trying to really go big, trying to do something brand new, trying to channel all this energy that they're feeling in a brand new way. I think that for some of you, it's going to be the right thing, especially later this year, like around the time we get to Scorpio season and your axis gets reactivated. And for some of you, it might be good now, but especially if you would like to polish, or if you would like to maybe embark, I don't know, a 6-month or even year-long process of polishing your experience and getting these glitches worked out, getting these kind of a snags or auric snags worked out. I feel that we all have them, and I think we're all going to be looking to Taurus people to understand how to heal that. So I have midheaven in Taurus myself. I've had Uranus transiting all over my midheaven, actually, ever since I started on YouTube, or especially when I started to do better on YouTube. So I understand how it can be, confusing. I've seen, as I've had the Uranus transit over my midheaven, it's like sometimes you don't have the answer to stuff, and you just have to go with the very quick-moving series of events and try to just kind of adjust as you go. And you might be needing to have a more concise or have a more secure experience here as well. So being that we are in all planets direct for almost this entire month, you have a lot of room to get stuff right. You have a lot of room to let go what you don't need, to fix things, okay, to correct errors, to work with what's here. And I just think that that's really promising. I think that starting over in a certain way, being able to go back to square one in some senses, being able to celebrate that process as well. You've got the Death card, the Four of Wands, the Fool, okay? Those three cards together I'm really interested in because it's kind of like, okay, I just chose to start over, or I just chose to kind of redo something, or I chose to polish. Also having the Wheel of Fortune, it gives you the chance to change something as well. So it's a very changing month for you. And I think that your solar return coming either later this month or next month, depending on the Taurus person watching, that's going to be all about change as well. And it's going to be all about making smaller things work or allowing things to be less bulky. And as a Scorpio myself, I'm on this axis too in my life. I've seen a lot of success with paring things down, with condensing, and I've also found myself feel uncomfortable or feeling overwhelmed by trying to take on new work or trying to make things bigger. Okay, so that's just been where I've been at. That might not be where you're all at, but I've noticed that ever since the nodes changed to Taurus and Scorpio, I felt a lot more happy playing things safe, and also kind of decreasing or divesting myself from things that are like kind of unpredictable or crazy or risky or anything like that. So I've become a bit more risk averse just in the last few months myself. And there's a lot of things and choices that I'm making in my life that to me are safer and more realistic. It's all about ebb and flow, For me, during the previous nodal paradigm, I made a lot of jumps and I made a lot of like big, not risks, but I think that I have less tolerance even now for it than I did then. And I think that in general, Taurus people are needing to give themselves the security or give themselves the surplus in life to be in that Two of Wands place, okay? To be in that Page of Pentacles place where it's like through a certain, smallness or even through a certain new entry into something, there's a security or there is also extra time or extra space to understand what we really want and how we want to move forward. Okay, another intuitive message that I'm feeling for you is that there might still be too much on your plate. You've got that Ten of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles reversed. Ooh, both of those are not pretty, okay, when it comes to hard work and when it comes to also wanting this state of like, having a bit more time, having a bit more money, having a bit more energy, okay? Both of those are antithetical to that. I do think you're working too hard on something. I think that you're carrying too much. I think that you might be a bit too subservient to other people. I think that you might be struggling to maybe set boundaries. Not all Taurus people, but there's just an indication or an inclination here to be constantly working or constantly laboring at something. It's great if it's a labor of love. It's great if it's something that is something you enjoy, but I'm seeing usually with Ten of Wands and Eight of Pentacles reversed, it's not really like that. It's more like, gosh, this was a lot harder than I thought it would be. Gosh, this is like menial. This is even undignified in some ways. I'm starting to see this Ten of Wands energy and Eight of Pentacles reversed as a certain like undignified level of work or a certain non-giving hustle or push into needing more. So I think that it's better to decrease your budget and live beneath your means and be able to have more dignity within your work than it is to think, okay, I need to like increase my income by working 3 jobs at once so that I can fit this lifestyle or so that I can fund something. And that works, again, and I've talked quite a bit about this over the last year on my channel. It works if you have a very specific idea of why you're doing it, and it's not just kind of a tangential, like, I want to live in that zip code, or I want to, like, I don't know, hire a cleaning service or something to clean my house for me. Like, if it's like, I want to finally be able to afford to, like, go to LA, or I want to finally be able to afford to start my own business, like that's one thing. And if you can really mark a time period and exactly how you're going to budget to do that, that's fine. But I don't like it when it's really open-ended and when it's really flexible, like, I'm just going to work really hard indefinitely because I have not really been able to properly work with what I already have. That is really harsh right now. And I'm seeing that for a lot of people past this APDM phase, so past All Planets Direct, past April 29th. If we haven't made those budgetary changes, or if we haven't polished this experience and optimized it to what we actually have, that starts to get really harsh, and it starts to look like maybe taking on a 3rd job or having to work a lot harder to meet the baseline. So I just want to alert you to that. And here in the month of April, you can really start over and start fresh. Page of Pentacles, the Fool, the Death card. It's all here for you to make it work like what you already have and to make it feel like it's more and to make it feel more abundant for you. Okay, Taurus, let's talk about your week to week. Week number 1, the Fool, rooted down by Eight of Pentacles reversed. You need to make things easier. It's basically just what we were talking about. The Fool is going to inject like a new method or a new strategy for you to work. And it should also maybe give you a new job or a new position or something that might invigorate you or make you enjoy work more. So maybe focus on getting a healthier Eight of Pentacles situation. Are you giving yourself enough time to finish what you do? Are you procrastinating? Are you working with deadlines in a healthy way? To me, that looks like pushing deadlines too close or starting something without giving yourself enough time, which is something that is really, really difficult in Year of the Tiger because we kind of need to be going pretty quick in general. So if we're really pushing deadlines on top of that, I think it's getting really stressful. So try to nip procrastination in the bud here. Week number 2, Page of Pentacles, rooted down by the Wheel of Fortune. A change in career, new business, new employment, new, also philosophies. I mean, Wheel of Fortune can be philosophies, and it indicates like a new philosophy or something different. So a new budget, a lower budget, it's recommendable for everyone. We have inflation, So even if you're like super, super wealthy, I think that everybody has to cut back here, and think about how much of their wealth they're giving over to institutions that they know nothing about. Okay. Aside from what we're acquiring, aside from consuming, aside from thinking, okay, here's my money, give me a product. Even if that's like a product focus and you're like, I want that thing, I want that product, I want that thing that they're giving me. Do you need it? And is it okay? Like, do you like them having your money? Do you like them having everyone's money in exchange for that product? Is it a fair trade? Is it something that you need? Is it worth it? Does it merit that value? Does it merit them having your money, and you having this product? It's good to kind of dismantle this now and stop over consuming. Necessities are one thing. Even conveniences to a degree are one thing, but overinflated consumption is a big problem here, and we're going to be broke if we can't control that, okay? Week number 3, we have 2 of wands, or you're down by 10 of wands. Either we're going to be broke or we're going to have to work forever and never like retire and like keep doing things we don't like doing for money and step into like a vibe of like I gotta just be blunt with you guys, like a feeling of like self-prostitution in order to keep having products or in order to keep having things. So we want to get ahead of that now and not be in that place. Because, 10 of wands and 8 of pentacles reverse, it kind of feels like I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to work this job anymore. I don't want to do this for money. Okay, I'm seeing some people getting there. And what is the answer to overcoming that? Well, it's not certainly living paycheck to paycheck. Okay, so trying to see that clearly in the 3rd week is important. And I'm just trying to really push this on my channel right now because I don't know, there's something about this paradigm that makes a big difference for like people's lifetime about whether or not they can do what they want to do and not feel like they have to sell their time for money. It's a pretty crucial thing happening over this next year and a half there. So keep it in mind. And maybe it's about like putting things on your wall, okay, putting things on your door, like before you leave the house, putting the credit cards away, even like using cash. I don't know. This is all very materially focused stuff, I understand. But it's just really important to not give ourselves the leeway to take from ourselves the futures that we actually want by hyper consumption. Okay, week number 4. Death rooted down by the 4 of wands. You celebrate the ending of something. You celebrate the conclusion. You celebrate a transformation that's happening in your life. You celebrate that person isn't with you anymore. That breakup happened. Thank God. Okay. What we don't want to see here so early in the year, right after the astrological new year, is like, I'm so sad that person left me. I'm so sad that I don't have a distraction anymore. I'm so sad that I'm not being used anymore by another person. How great it is to be blocked by someone. How great it is for someone to leave us. How great it is for someone to quote unquote abandon us because we're not being used anymore. When someone this reading just took a whole other tone. I want to talk to those of us who are struggling with abandonment or a trauma of abandonment, especially if it's with like a previous relationship or romantic partnership. That is a blessing, okay? We didn't know it, but they were using us. We didn't know that. Whenever someone abandons you or just blocks you and doesn't give you proper closure, either you're insane and being like really toxic, or they were using you. And it's probably the second one, because I find that good people, or wholesome people, at least give that chance even to a toxic person to be like, it's over, I need to move on. And they at least give that, or they provide that in some way. They don't just disappear, unless it's a super, like not just toxic, but like dangerous situation. There are many caveats. But in general, especially if we've been unrighteously abandoned, let's word it like that, unrighteously abandoned, we were being used, okay? And it's a celebration that we don't have that parasite in our lives anymore. Can we celebrate that? Can we, bereavement is a thing. We have to mourn and grieve. It's a healthy part of overcoming. But I see that being celebratory for you here. So if you are struggling with a breakup or an abandonment or anything like that, For some people, it's very hard to release parasites. For some people, that's an emotional process. Like they become accustomed to being drained by another person. They start to want that. So that's gone. You've like cleansed away the parasite. You've cleansed away the host relationship as a host yourself. And now that's a hard thing maybe for us as previous hosts to process. I don't know, take yourself out for ice cream, take yourself out for something that you don't have to buy with money, potentially, preferably. But you could reward yourself as well. Why not? When I talk about, hyperconsumption, I'm more so talking about the routine pattern consumption. It's fine to reward yourself in life. It's fine within reason to have those moments. I love that. We just don't really want it to be like something that is the difference between retirement or not. But one way or another, Taurus, I do feel there's an ending coming up here, and I do feel that you have so many changes, and Scorpio does too. This entire axis with the nodes being on it is like, wow, you're really changing up here. You're really not playing anymore too. I like that. Let's talk more about that in your extended reading, Taurus. It'll be linked below and in the center of your screen. I hope you all have a beautiful month. We'll talk more about, not playing around anymore, getting serious with stuff on Patreon. So I invite you over there. It's very reasonable, and it helps this channel to be possible. So click the center of your screen now or in the description box, and we will get some more cards and talk more about this. Have a great month, Taurus. I love you very much. Bye.